Welcome back to Tech by Pike. Today we have the MSI GS66 stealth gaming laptop. I've already posted the unboxing of this laptop, but now we're going to do some benchmarkings and get those results to you. I want to do a quick recap of the specs on this laptop. It's an i7 11th gen processor. That's an i7 11800H. It has an RTX 3060 GPU with 95 watt max with dynamic boost. It has 16 gigabytes of RAM, DDR4, 3200 hertz. That can be maxed out to 64 gigs, so there is opportunity there for some upgrading. It has a 1 terabyte SSD, but there's 2 slots for an SSD, and so there's some upgrade opportunity there as well. So that's good news. The screen is a 1080p at 240 hertz, 3-second response time, so that's fantastic. But let's do some benchmarking, and we'll get that to you here. So let's get into it. The built-in 720p camera is just okay. It's good for conferencing calls and Zoom calls. As far as content creation goes, I'd get an external. It's the same way with the microphone, built-in mic. I would get an external if content creation is what you want to use this laptop for. I will say that this has a Windows Hello to help you log in, so it does recognize my face about 95% of the time. I've had experiences with other laptops that I've brought in where it's probably around 45 to 50% successful logging me in with Windows Hello. So in that case, it's pretty good. We are testing out the speakers with some royalty-free, no copyright music on YouTube, and this is currently at 50% on the speakers. That's pretty good sound. It's a little tinny, but it has a little bass there. It's not bad. The MSI Center is where you would go to monitor your CPU and GPU usage. You can also monitor your fan speeds and CPU temperature. Under the Features tab, in User Scenario, you can pick the scenario that makes the best sense based on what you're using the laptop for. Under the user scenario, there is an extreme performance where you can click on this gear and actually change the core clock offset for your GPU. You can also turn on the cooler boost to turn your fan on high while you're playing those AAA games. Also under the features, you can go to general settings, and in here you can switch your graphics from hybrid to discrete graphics mode. So this laptop does have a mux switch, and if you switch it to discrete graphics mode, the laptop will require a reboot. Because this is an MSI laptop, it does have the SteelSeries keyboard. In the SteelSeries app, you can change the color of the backlighting of your keyboard. This is a per key RGB, and you can change that color to fit your mood or your gaming style. Our Cinebench scores were really good. I was pretty impressed with our CPU multi-core at 11,503 points. CPU single core was at 1,515 points, and then our NP ratio was 7.59. We leveraged 3D Mark for some of our benchmarking. This is TimeSpy. We got a graphics score of 8,396. Our CPU score was 10,720. Overall score was 8,678, and compared to some online results, average was around 8,186. The best was 10,546, so our score squeaked in there right above the average, which is good. So it was the same type of scenario with our scores around Firestrike. Our graphics score was 21,477. Physics score was 23,896, and then combined score was 7,350. Overall score was 18,246, and compare that with online scores Average was around 17,500 and the best was 22,274. So we also squeaked in right above average for this laptop. We ran Geekbench as well and got single core score of 1530 and then a multi-core score of 8,343, just for some comparisons. We tested out our 15.6 Full HD 360 hertz panel and with our SpiderX Pro and got 99% of sRGB, 75% of Adobe RGB, and 78% of P3. Now, as of a couple years ago, I didn't even know what this meant, so I had to look it up. And DCI P3, sometimes casually referred to as P3 or Display P3, stands for Digital Cinema Initiatives Protocol 3 and is a color space or set of colors created by the Digital Cinema Initiatives and Society of Motion Picture and Television Engineer in an attempt to standardize the colors used in the film industry. That's the wiki. So anyway, I found it interesting a couple years ago, and you might find it useful now. We used the internal benchmarking tool on Red Dead Redemption, and we tested it at high and ultra. Ultra was around, we were getting about 40 to 50 FPS on average. On high, it was around 55 to 65 FPS on average. This is medium. The laptop is on dedicated graphics and all settings are on high. The benchmarking game is set on medium settings, and we are getting around between 95 and 100 FPS, which is great. While benchmarking Red Dead Redemption, we also tested out the heat output on this laptop. It is currently on high. The mux switch is switched to dedicated graphics, and the heat on the keyboard is right around 87.6 degrees Fahrenheit, right around the top of the keys, kind of towards the middle. The palm rests are around 73 degrees on both sides, but it's right in the middle at the top of the keyboard where it's really getting hot. That's where the graphics card and the processor are located. While benchmarking Red Dead Redemption, we also checked out the fan noise. And the game is set at ultra, the fans are on high, and we are currently at 58 decibels. So we used some of our favorite AAA games, their internal benchmarking tool, and we set everything on ultra settings in the game, and the laptop mux switch is switched over to dedicated graphics, and the laptop is set on high on all settings. We did the benchmarking of Shadow of the Tomb Raider on ultra settings, and the laptop didn't do too bad. With the i7-11800H and the RTX 3060, the minimum FPS was 88 FPS, the average was 108 FPS, and the maximum was 177 FPS. When we move over to F1 2020, the minimum FPS was 154, average was 181, and max was 205. And then for Red Dead Redemption, the minimum was 35 FPS, average was 63, and max was 82 FPS. Pretty good. A lot of power in this slim gaming laptop. The MSI GS66 stealth gaming laptop. I really like this laptop. It's slim, it's unassuming, and has plenty of venting to keep the laptop cool when playing those AAA games. The I/O, I thought there was plenty of I/O, minus the SD card slot. That was kind of unfortunate, but that's okay. The internals on this laptop are upgradable. So the RAM and the extra SSD slot for more storage, it gives this laptop some longevity. So that's good news. The only thing I didn't like was the price. On the Best Buy website, it goes for about $1,700. And I think that there are other options out there, and I'm going to name one of them. It's the HP Omen 15.6 gaming laptop, and that laptop goes with an AMD Ryzen 7. It has an RTX 3060, and that one goes for about $200 cheaper. It does come with a 512 SSD and not the 1 terabyte that this laptop comes with, but there's a trade-off. So there are other options out there, but if you have the money and you like the MSI brand, I really recommend that you take a look at this laptop. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this from Tech by Pike, hit the subscribe button. We appreciate it. It helps the channel, gives us an opportunity to bring more videos like this to you, and it also gives us the opportunity to continue down this path and get better at what we're doing. And that's the goal. So we appreciate that as well. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next one.